My friends, what is the cost of love? If you think about it, this entire gospel, Jesus is on the eve of his own crucifixion. He's surrounded with his closest friends. And what does he do? Judas has just left him, just betrayed the group, betrayal heavy in the air. And he looks at those that are still there and he says, "My children, I will be with you only a little while longer. As I have loved you, so you should love one another." And a verse that could almost be written off as a pithy statement, put on a hallmark card to be shared. God is love. Love everyone. And yet, how much has that very term been abused? How has that very word lost its value? Because we don't know what we're talking about when we talk about what truly is love. You see, in a way, I just want to use a couple of examples. If you were really little, maybe, just maybe, you wish mom and dad wouldn't make you go to bed at a certain time. Or maybe you wish you could have as much ice cream as you can imagine. Could you imagine that? Like, maybe you should go home tonight. Mom, I don't want a bad bedtime. Dad, we need to go for ice cream right now. It's 11 o'clock. But what happens, parents, is you have to tell this really awesome desire that your kid has, and you have to be the bad person and say, "No, Johnny, you're going to bed at 7:30. Or no, you can't have breakfast. You can't have ice cream for breakfast. Mom and dad, do you love your kids when you tell them no? Do you? With more confidence, do you? Kids, do you feel like mom and dad love you when they have to tell you no? Interesting. So love is more than just a feeling, because how can one sentence be true and yet the reception of it be no? So love is more than just a feeling. Now, teenagers, when you make a mistake, an honest mistake, trying to do something you've never done before, and maybe it doesn't turn out the way you wished, when mom and dad come down hard on you for making a simple mistake, is that love? Ooh, no answers. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. And hear me when I say this, maybe, maybe not. Sometimes in their own humanities, parents can come down a little harsh when a simple mistake is made. But the opportunity to learn is in the making of a mistake. But sometimes maybe mom and dad have to come down hard because the mistake itself was so dire. So maybe we have to look at circumstances to understand how best to love. Maybe sometimes we have to understand that in our own humanities, sometimes we act out of anger and frustration or fear rather than genuine love. Love is not simple. It's not so black and white, is it? When we're little, it's a little easier. As we grow up, it's a little harder. Couples, marriages, is it easy to love your spouse? No. Say it with me, no. Because you're trying to love someone in the midst of a vocation that existed prior to the fall, and you're living out of a vocation that we're living after the fall. Love costs something. So often our world as Christians, love has been so distraught, so destroyed, so put down into pithy statements that we lose the very value of what love brings. Jesus himself looks at those that are closest to him and says, if you love how I have loved you, that's how I will know you are my disciples. That the very truth is for all of us. The disciples don't know what it's going to cost. They're going to witness the cost of that love when Christ mounts the very cross. But here's the beauty. Peter has been traveling with Jesus. He's been reprimanded by the Lord. He's been chastised by the Lord. He's been called by the Lord. Peter will betray the Lord, and the Lord will meet him in the betrayal and say, Peter, do you love me? Love is not so simple as to just give in to the feelings. It's not just saying you're totally fine the way you are. Don't worry about changing. Don't worry about doing the hard thing. Don't worry about it. That's not love. That's wanting to be liked. Love is calling out the difficult. Love is having mercy when mercy is warranted. Love is having to call out the sinner to conversion, having to call to mind the difficult thing, having to instill a bedtime into little kids, and having to give a breath for a teenager to make a mistake. Love is telling your spouse, let's not go to bed angry. Let's work it out right now. Love costs something. Love is not easy. Dear Christian, don't let the world destroy our version of what love is. Because it's really easy to throw I love you on a Hallmark card. But when love costs you something, that's where real love is found. Whether it's in mercy or having to call out a close friend. To love someone is to will their very good. And that goodness may not be seen by them, may not be known by them, may not be easy for them to understand. But dear Christian, to be a disciple of Christ, you have to be willing to call it out, and you have to be willing to give the mercy. Our pastor is asking something of us right now. You may have noticed when you walked in, there was a QR code up on the projector. In the very bulletin and the very first page, there's a QR code for you to scan. If you have no idea how to use a QR code, find somebody under 20, or you can just point your camera on your phone at it and it'll open up a link. Our pastor is asking every one of us to fill out a survey. And most of the time, I understand, we hear surveys and we're like, it's just another solicitation. My friends, part of love and loving your community and loving your parish is being willing to be honest. We're honestly asking you for your feedback. The ways that we are helping you to know the Lord and the ways that we are failing at it, not through programs, not just through events and things that we're doing, but honestly, in your own family, in your own encounters. We need to know because we don't know how you are. We don't know where the Lord is working in your life, and we want to. We want to know the good. We want to know the merciful. We want to know the awesome. We also want to know the difficult. We want to know the challenges that are facing your family. But we can't know that if you don't tell us. And so from the heart of our pastor, from my own heart as a priest, I'm begging you to please fill out that survey. For as many people in your home, if you're a teenager, we want to hear from you as well, because guess what? Your voice is valid. And so my ask of you this day is to take a moment and fill that out, to love us as your shepherds, to let us hear your voice so that we know how to better serve you, how to help make you disciples of Jesus, and to equip you to go out into a world that needs what you have. Here's the other key piece. Currently, the data in this survey is skewing heavily towards the 60+ crowd. I'm amazed they figured out how to use QR codes. I'm really thankful for their voice. But here's something else. If you look around, our parish is more than just that demographic. And in order to know how best to serve every one of you, we have to hear from you. So from the bottom of my heart as a priest and from the bottom of the heart of your pastor and mine, please take it serious. Because we want to know how to love you, both in mercy and in truth. But we don't know how best to do that if you don't tell us. Amen?